And our Cabernet, this is the oldest of our Cabernets as far as my dad's picture. He always had his little jacket like this. He always had his ascot. He always had a drink in his hand, and he always had a pipe. So you can see all of that in there. This earned his face on here for sure, just because this was a cab from Livermore. It's from Three Steves. I usually get my cabs from Napa. I don't have boundaries where I get my grapes. A lot of people say they only want to do Livermore, which is totally fine, but I go find out where all my best grapes are. I have no contracts. Ehrenberg Cellars has not one contract. It's all handshake and friends that I become with the grape growers. And what I'm most proud of is 4 of our investors are grape growers. Normally what happens is a winery will invest in a grape grower. So for example, if one of you guys had 5 acres, I'd say, hey, I want your wines. I like your grapes for the next 10 years. Well, it's the other way around. These grape growers are coming to us, loving the way that we make the wine out of their grapes that they've invested with us. So Sutherland Zinn, which is not here, and Frank Favalora Zinn, which is not here, is 2 of our investors. And then England Shaw, which is the one that was the Syrah, they were investors. And then and then Michael David, which is a big name. Everybody knows Earthquake, Petit Syrah, 7 Deadly Zins. They're the big corporation like that has invested with us as well. So I'm very proud of that fact. So with that said, because I couldn't get a cab from Napa, we lost that contract. I got this from Livermore. And if you all know Three Steves, the Three Steves are all a bunch of assholes and idiots and jerks. No, actually, they're really nice guys. We tease each other all the time. They always call me dickhead, and I always call them assholes. But they're really, really nice people. And they've helped me out quite a bit in Livermore, getting me introduced to everything. So I couldn't say nicer things about the Three Steves. And I won't say any more nice things about them. But when I went to go get my cab, he said, well, Ehrenberg, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to have a better cab than you. And it's like, okay, whatever. We'll see what we're going to do. So as I was driving away that day, I called a friend of mine who works for Plump Jack up in Napa. And they happened to have gotten the last 100 points scored by Robert Parker, who's like the Steve Jobs in the computer business. He rated only 15 times in his whole lifetime 100 points to a certain kind of wine. And the last one was in 2015 at Plump Jack. So Aaron, the assistant winemaker there, who used to be at Rosenblum, I called him and said, do you have any of those 100-point barrels that your wine came out of that I could put my wine into and hopefully be as good as your wines? And he goes, let me see what I can do. And so, as you know, I schmoozed and I went up there and gave him a bunch of my wines. And at the end of the day, I needed 6 barrels. He said, hey, look at Ehrenberg. Those 2 over there are the 100-point barrels that our wine came out of. So this was made separately than the other 16 cab that we had not too long ago that sold out quickly. And this has got a long way to go. It's only been 2 months in the barrel, but we already think that this is going to be one of the best wines that there is out there that I've ever made. And it's getting better. I can actually tell it's getting better. But as you know, cabs are a different breed. It's going to take at least another year or 2 for it to really mature. All of my cabs that I've had, it all happened the same way. The 14, we all said, yeah, it's okay. And then after about 9 months, it just went bam and sold out. And the same thing with the 16, the younger brother of this. We're down to, we had 22 cases of this. We're down to about 15, 16 cases of this. And there is a 2-bottle limit. It is only for club members. But again, because of the coronavirus situation we're in, we'd love to go ahead and share this with everybody. And it's a fun story. So everybody's saying, well, you can't call your wine 100 points. I'm not. It's a 100-point barrel. Hopefully it will get to be 100 points. One of the bad things that happened this year is the Orange County Wine Competition, which I'm a judge of, canceled. And the San Francisco Chronicle, it just happened in November, so hopefully it's still on. But the Alameda County canceled, and the State Fair also canceled. So our wines that we normally put into competitions, mainly those 4 that I put them into, 3 of the 4 are canceled. So unfortunately about that, but I want you to enjoy this wine. So again, the same thing, pour it towards the back of the glass, turn it, look at it, and again, the 3 S's. Right? Sight, see, smell, swirl, sip, and savor. Ah, boy. It's not quite as strong of a nose as the Petit Verdot, I think. Wow. Yeah, you can see the depth and it's hard to describe about. Mm-hmm. I already did. Wow. So big difference. This has got less nose, but huge impact on the mouth. Wow. It's huge and way in the back of your mouth. So I want to hear from